Hi, this is Christina Bailey, and today I'll be deconstructing this website, POCruises. I wrote about this in my form and function essay as an option for good form and function. So before we go ahead and get started, I want you to take a look at the website as it is intended through the designers. So you'll see that it's very image oriented, quite horizontal in its format. Uh, the first thing that really catches your eye, of course, is this beautiful Caribbean scene. Makes you just want to go down there and soak up some sun. And so one objective, obviously, of a vacation cruise website is to help you decide a destination as well as to help you book a cruise. So I think this website does do that, and we'll go through some ways that it does. So, like I said, a lot of information about the fold line. Down below here, we also have a secondary navigation through text format, so you can still get to some of these links that you would also reach through the top navigation, which is a drop-down menu. And one other feature of this website, like I mentioned, booking a cruise, and so it allows you to search for various options. Let's go ahead and book our cruise next June. Let's go to the Canary Islands. Looks like we've got one result here. So we can easily go ahead and look at more information or book our cruise if we're ready. So I just wanted to point those things out before we got started on deconstructing this site. The other thing that struck me about this site is the color scheme. If you'll notice, we have this gray page background, so kind of this moody, stormy seas or sky. And then we also have this beautiful Mediterranean blue, this dark blue up through here, and then kind of a more middle blue that's used as well as an accent. So very marine colors, very sea-oriented. So with that, let's go ahead and get rid of our other link here and go ahead and start disabling options. So I'm going to start by disabling the page colors. So with that, obviously we've removed some of the mood of the website, and we've lost the blue and the grays and things like that. We've lost a little bit of our branding here with the kind of a little decay of our little logo. And then the other thing we've lost is our top navigation. And so we do have still those drop downs down below, so we can still reach options depending on where we want to go, what we want to do, and things like that. Now the good thing that the designers did here is they put these alt text tags on for the navigation, or the title tags, one of the two. And so you can still see what this navigation is all about without even having the navigation there. So that's a good thing. The other thing that's impacted with the loss of the page colors is kind of this overlay area. And if you remember, this was there was a white background in through here with these images and text. And so obviously this becomes much more difficult to understand what's going on here in some cases. And so with the vegetation, you really can't read that says welcome. Fortunately, we can go down here and again have an alt text tag that tells us this is a message from Carol Marlowe. And then our alt text, we have early booking offers. We have Christmas cruises, and then we don't know what this one is. And that's because the designers forgot to put that alt text tag on this to tell us this was the blog. And you probably can't read that little gray text right here that tells us that. And if you click on this link, you'll see it goes to jamescusick.co.uk, but that means absolutely nothing to me. So that's kind of a little mark off there, but nevertheless, not too bad. And so let's continue on down the page. The text links don't suffer too much as a result of the loss of the page colors, and we still have these kind of lower navigation or utility links down below here. So let's go ahead and restore our page colors. And now we're going to go ahead and remove all our images. Okay, so now we've totally lost our little logo, but now it's replaced with a little link for our home. Even though we're on the home page right now, and other portions of the website, this can take us back to our home. We've also still lost our navigation up top, and again, we're going to be helped out by the fact that there's these alt text tags up here, our title tags, and so we can still figure out where we're going. And again, these lower links still work fine, and they don't suffer any as a result of the loss of the background or loss of the images. So then we go head down here, and with our overlay images, of course they're gone now, but now it's a lot clearer without that image as to what this is all about. And so it's clear we have the message, the welcome, we have those early booking offers, Christmas cruises, and now we know that this is the blog. So even though it's missing that little tag to tell us that. And again, we're doing well with our little text links, and on our utility links down below, we've lost some of our little GIFs for the social media websites, but again, it doesn't really suffer any because these are still linked in, and we can still get to these portions, these websites. Okay, so let's go ahead and restore those images, and let's take off the CSS. Okay, this is where we're going to see the most impact, is obviously with the removal of the CSS. So we've pretty much removed the form of the website, and so we're now going to see if there's still some functionality here. And it's looking pretty good with all our navigation links. We can still get to a lot of things. There's no bouncing around or anything like that. We'll come back to this one. This is our search options that we saw in the beginning. And we have our beautiful cruise ship back. And then we have this little strange vestige, which I have not figured out, this long news item. And so it's kind of a little strange thing. The other thing I noticed that we have is that the overlay text was actually coded in as this gray sans serif font. And so it's not being impacted with the removal of the CSS. So let's continue on down. So with removal of that form, all those text links that were down below become a kind of long list, but still quite usable and functional. My apologies. Okay, let's go ahead and disable everything here. Let's try this again. Okay, now we're down to the bare bones here, so let's go ahead and take a look at this site now. And like I said, I would come back to this calendar. And what happens when we remove the CSS from the page is we have a little problem with our calendar. And so if you click on any of these options, you'll see what happens here as a result. We have it overlaying some of that text. When we had those images up, actually this would have overlaid that cruise ship image. So that's not so user-friendly, unfortunately. So we lost some functionality there. This is not very readable. So that's another little downfall there. Everything else seems fine, so no problems. Okay. Let's go ahead and restore everything. Okay. Now we're back to our site as it was. Now we're going to go moving over here to linearize the site. And as I mentioned in the beginning, this is a very horizontally oriented web page, so it's going to be impacted obviously once we linearize it. And as you can see, we've totally lost our navigation up here, and so I'm not even sure where it actually went. Our search tool that used to be over here in this upper right is now moved down to the left justification. We also have the impacts here with our overlay area, our little overlay table, and so we have those all going left justified. And then we have a little, again, some text that's impacted by this image, so a little problematic there. And our little text links are all fine. So linearizing the page doesn't make it look so great though. Now let's go ahead and take this into small screen rendering. We'll go ahead and take that linearized page off because that doesn't matter so much here. And so again, being a horizontal page, when we look at it in the small screen rendering as a vertical image, it does get fairly impacted as a result of that. So we have some little discombobulation of our features, and we have our overlay text happening again, or overlay of overlays, and then we have our very long list now of text navigation links. So I did look at this on my Droid phone, and actually I did look at it in the horizontal format, which actually does look pretty good on the Droid phone. It's just pretty small, obviously. And it didn't look nearly as bad as this either in the vertical format. So this might be something more towards BlackBerry or some other phone that I haven't used. But it's a good option to have just because it does give you a better idea of what your smartphone user will be seeing, and just to be aware of what that is so it can help you in your design work. So, so I do like the fact that the small screen rendering option is available. Let's go ahead and let's go back to normal here. And so with that, thank you for your time, and I hope you'll get a chance to visit the P&O Cruises website, and have a good night.